So one day, my uncle Mike, or he was staying with us at me and my mom's house, and I'm sleeping before school, and I wake up and I look out the door, and I'm seeing like a motion, like a motion a guy would make when he's touching himself. Okay, and I'm like half asleep, and I'm looking out the door, and I'm seeing this take place. This guy is actually watching me sleep and masturbating. Okay. So I like woke up and I went and shut the door. And okay, so that was it for that. Another day I wake up and he's doing that again. And I shut the door, went back to sleep, wake up and the door's cracked and he's doing it again. I mean, this happened to me. I don't know exactly how many times, but he did that quite a few times. Like when you staying at my grandma's and staying at my mom's. I'm so damaged that I don't even want to, I can't even face the fact of trying to go through this, what I went through again. And from what I know, it happened to my cousin Nikki, and my aunt says it happened to her too. So this is a well-known thing in my family about this person in my family. There's other stories about him too. I mean, and there's just so much to say. Even when I was a kid and before all this happened to me, my mom was sort of neurotic, and she would lock me out of the house and say, I'm going to kill myself, and blah, 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 blah. Well, my mom was the only person I had. I didn't meet my father until I was 7 years old. So I didn't have a dad around. So that was terrible in itself. And then one time we stayed in this shelter in Pontiac, and I just remember the roaches crawling up the wall, and that was crazy. It's funny, it's my daughter now, she's 13, and she's never been through anything traumatic like that, and yet she's so troubled. Like, she's cutting herself, alleging that I abuse her and everything, and I'm thinking to myself, what reason does she have to be like this? I mean, when I was her age, I had been through so much. She's never stayed in a shelter. She's got a huge family that supports her. She's lived in the same two places most all of her life. She's gone to the same school, unlike me, who from 3rd to 5th grade switched schools like 10 times. I mean, so, I just don't get it. Back to my mom, though, we've gotten a disagreement lately, and still to this day, all these years later, she can't admit that what she did. She just doesn't. It's like another life to her, and she still claims that it's because I wanted to go to Disney World that I didn't say anything. I mean, who does that? After all those years, do you not reflect? Now she has 2 young kids. And 4 years, like I said, I would protect her and I wouldn't want them to know. And I always debated, will I tell them what she did? Will I tell them what happened about their mom? Why? Will I let them know? Well, I think, you know what? I think it's important to let them know. And now I'm starting to wonder if she's not protecting someone else from if something's going on with them, because she totally pulled them out of school, decided she's going to homeschool them, but they don't do any work. They don't go outside. They don't go anywhere. I mean, it's like they're under lock and key, which is making me wonder, is something untoward going on for them too? Is she protecting them from the world because something's going on? Or there's just so much to say, so many more things, and about so many things, into why I haven't really dealt with any of this stuff ever. I thought for a long time I was great. I made it out pretty good, and I wrote poetry when I was a teenager, and I really believe that helped me cope with what I went through and things like that. And I still believe that creativity helps you cope with things. But in reality, if you don't deal with stuff as traumatic as the many things that I went through, um, the incest in the family, the molestation that took place, the mental abuse that I suffered, the loss of people, the really just trauma. I mean, it will catch up to you. And there comes a point where you have to do something about it and you have to face it. And that's why I say there's no more secrets anymore. There's not, it's time to open up. It's time to share it with everyone, because I don't know the answers to everything, but I really thought I had a good grip on uh, life. I thought I had a pretty good mental state and everything, but how many times can you get up when life kicks you down, really? And when you keep going through stuff and keep going through stuff and everything, how do you keep finding the strength to overcome this stuff? I mean, at some point, you gotta do something. You gotta deal with it or figure out. I mean, life will get you. I can see why people become bitter, old people. I can see why people shut down. I can see why people do what they do. I can see a lot of things. And I've shut down for a long time. More so in the last few years. But I don't feel like it's my job anymore to withhold all the pain that I felt to protect someone else who did what they did to me recently and is so untrustworthy and so just in denial, you know. I mean, she thinks she's so family orientated. Well, you know what? She would take off on me for days with no food in the house, off on her bar trips, or one time she took off to Chicago, left me with nothing. Thank God I had a good group of friends and I could go stay with their parents, but it's just little things like that she did. I mean, the guys that she brought around, total drunks, just the things that she's done and said to me and that other people have done and said to me when I was a kid. And it's all just hit me smack dab right in the face lately. And I'm not protecting anyone anymore. It's it's all it's all gonna be out.